Alright guys, so this is where I'm going to be starting to fish. It's a really deep pool, really nice run. I'm going to go to the tail of it and kind of fish up a little bit, but it's so deep. I've actually fished this before, but it's so deep that there's no way I could get in the current. So I'm going to be kind of going around and casting far out. I'm going to switch to my nymphs because I had my dry fly, my dry dropper on. I'm going to switch to my nymph rig, and this is the perfect hole for me to show y'all how I fish when I have to cast out far away and I can't tight line nymph, and how I do it without an indicator. So I'm kind of just, you know, going over what I do, and hopefully we'll catch a fish in here, and I'll tell you what we're looking for and how to do it without an indicator. So let's get after it. Okay guys, so I'm actually in the water now. I'm at the tail of this pool here. It's flowing down this way. It's pretty slow, but it's still deep. I don't know if you can hear me because the rapids down below are a little loud. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to hear me over the sound of the water. But I've got my nymphs on. I got my 2 nymph system. Got my stonefly. And then right here I have this little prince nymph. So what I'm going to do is fish closest to me. So there's 2 seams, 2 sides of the current. I'm going to fish the seam that's closest to me. I'm going to fish in the middle of the main part of the current, and then I'm going to fish far side. So I'm going to kind of tight line this closest part to me, and then as I go I'm going to let more line out. And right now I'm just letting my fly sink, so I've got my fly line on the water. Once it's close enough to me, I'm going to pull it up. When I feel like they've gotten close enough that I can tight line, and the current's actually pushing it towards me, so I'm going to cast a little bit further this time. And I'm going to lift my line up. Nothing. I'm just going to keep going at it until I get a fish. Oh, I got a fish right now. Nice rainbow. I got him on the prince. And I don't have my net with me, so I'm going to have to kind of hand net this guy, which is not what I wanted. He's wanting to take me downstream, and I'm not going to let him. I'll put some side pressure on him. Bring him in. Nice 12, 13-inch rainbow. Right there. Nice little rainbow. Corner of his mouth. Down here at the tail of the run. Nice. Well, there he goes. Male, rainbow. Had a little cop on him. But that's essentially it. So I'm going to kind of do a few more runs, a few more casts in this run, and let y'all get a better view of what it is I'm doing and what I'm looking for. Okay guys, so I'm casting my line out here. It's coming by, so once it gets in front of me, I'm picking my fly line off the water. Let's see, I'll get a better view right here. So as I cast out, because I'm not using an indicator, this is a floating fly line. Therefore, what I'm looking for, if I get a strike before it gets in front of me and I can start tight lining, is I'm looking for that fly line to dart or stop or do anything that's not natural flowing down the current. If it does, I'm gonna set the hook and either I've hit the bottom or I have a fish. Now that I'm in front of me, I'm gonna tight line it down. And as I cast further out, I just do the same thing. But one of the things I'm doing is I'm not just letting my line go. I'm actually retrieving fly line in my hand so that I maintain a connection with the end of my line. If I just let it go down and then a fish gets on it, then I've got to set the hook way back here, and by the time that the hook sets, the fish has already spit the hook. So what I'm doing is I'm constantly doing a figure 8 retrieve or a slow pull. As it comes in, you can see it going up into my rod, the fly line. And then I pull my rod up. And then I'm going to cast a little bit further this time. Keep my rod high, and as it comes to me, I'm just lifting my rod. So that way all I have to do is set the hook, and I got a fish. So there's two ways you can retrieve. You can do a figure 8, which is like this. You can do a slow pull, which is like this, and just kind of match the speed of the current. Or if you're doing a shorter cast, you can just slowly lift your rod up as you go, or do a combination of the two. Now I'm watching the end of my fly line for anything to happen. If nothing happens, recast, and you keep fishing. Okay, so I'm actually getting to some better water to where I can actually use my dry dropper system. So I'm actually going to switch from my nymphs to put the dry dropper on that I tied at the truck. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to remove the clinch knot that I did. Now I have my dry dropper system in my hand. I have the dry fly, and at the bottom I have my nymph. Don't forget your float. So there you go, just like that. I now have my dry dropper, got my dropper. So we're gonna fish this run and see if we can't get anything. So this dry dropper system, basically you just fish it like you would with an indicator and you're nymphing. So you just cast it out, watch your dry fly. If it goes under or if the fish takes the dry, it's probably a fish. So just set the hook and have some fun. I'm going to try to get into some fish. The next couple clips are probably just going to be me fishing some different holes, and you'll kind of get to see, you know, how to fish the system and different scenarios. So let's see if we can't catch a fish. Okay guys, so just something real quick that I want to address. When you're using the dry dropper system, so the dry fly is kind of your indicator, and you're just watching that dry fly. So if it does anything, you know, kind of weird or suspicious that isn't natural with what is floating on top of the water, so if it kind of just darts under, or if it stops and you start seeing wakes around it, you're either having your fly drag or there's a fish that has the nymph underneath. So also if a fish just takes the dry fly, you've got a fish. So, but one thing that some people seem to have trouble with, I see a lot of beginners who use dry flies say that dry fly fishing is very hard, it's challenging. It's probably one of the more technical aspects of fly fishing. But in my opinion, it's really not hard. It's basics. So just like I was telling y'all with the nymph rig, if y'all are fishing and keeping slack out of your line, and having direct contact with the fly without pulling the fly, then you should be able to maintain a float of your dry fly. So I'm just going to show y'all a couple examples of what to do, what not to do. Let me line this up. There you go. So y'all can see me. But I'm just going to show y'all a few examples on what to do, what not to do, and you know, what y'all need to do to correct some of your problems when dry fly fishing or using a dry dropper system. But this is a beautiful run. We're gonna see if we can't catch a fish here and go over those examples. Okay, so I'm just gonna cast my line. This is what a lot of people you'll see as beginners. They don't realize that the fly line will actually drag in the water and will drag the dry fly underneath the water. So this is what it would look like. There's a big current out there. They cast across because that's where the fish are. Okay, so I'm gonna cast across and kind of do what's not supposed to be done. So they leave the fly in, the water takes their line down and drags their fly underwater. That's kind of like the biggest no-no that you do with dry fly fishing. So what you want to do, what a lot of people tell you to do is you mend, which you bring your line over in front of your fly in the current. Let me show you again. Dry fly, you mend. That way you don't let your dry fly sink. Now that's okay, and I do it a lot, especially when you're casting very far distances. But with something like this where I'm almost at an arm's reach with the rod, I fish it just like I would tight lining. I actually tight line this. And that way I keep a constant tension on my fly. So if a trout takes my dry fly or my nymph, I can set the hook. The thing with mending is you're then putting a bunch of slack in front of your fly. So then you have to, when you set the hook, you have to set up, go through all that slack before the hook actually sets. And so that's why I try to stay away from mending if possible and go to a more of a tight lining of the fly. Now when I'm casting far distances, I do the same thing I would when I'm nymphing. I'm just pulling the line in, making sure I have constant tension until I get to a point where I can tight line it. So I hope that helps, and we're gonna go on and try to catch some fish. What's up, guys? So I just want to take a second to talk to y'all about a special little thing that I'm announcing. I've become a brand ambassador for the brand Cassette Optics for their fishing line, and that, if you haven't noticed the new shades I've got on, these are the matte black Legends, and they are incredible. I've also got another pair here with me just to show y'all what it comes in. They come in these little sleeves, the Cassette. Let's see right here if I can show it. Cassette, and these are the translucent Legends, and they are in the copper lens. These are in the amber, but check those out. Those are sweet. So these are the ChromaCast lenses. That's their new brand, so go check them out. I'm gonna leave a link with a promo code so y'all can get a discount for that. Now I am an ambassador, so I will be, it would help me out if you go on there, if you purchase them using my code, Ridgeline Flies, and it's gonna help y'all out too, because y'all are gonna get some sweet shades, just incredible. You can see in the water, and it just makes walking up the creek and sight fishing just 10 times easier. So go check them out. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. Using my code, Ridgeline Flies, and y'all can get a discount, so go check them out. So I decided to move places. I went back to my truck and drove upstream a little bit, and I actually picked up my chest cam mount, so that way maybe I can give y'all a little bit better view of what I'm doing. and y'all could actually see the presentation I'm giving on the water. So I've got my dry dropper set up right now. Let's see if we can get into a fish. There he is. Taking the nymph on the bottom. Beautiful little fish. Nymph. Barbless jig hook, red dart. We'll let him go. Nice. On the dry dropper. Oh, another one. Nice. This is a nicer fish. A lot nicer fish right there. Got it right here on top of his lip. Hold on, buddy. Boom. There we have it. Get a release on him. There he is. Nice fish on the dry. Nice fish right there on the dry fly. Come on, buddy. Nice fish. Good release. There he goes. Sitting right there. Got a fish. Using the pull-up method, where you drag it back upstream. I'm telling you guys, I catch a lot of fish doing that with my nymphs. It's a nice rainbow. Nice rainbow. Nice fish. About 13 inches or so. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Getting back in the water. There he goes. Oh, another nice fish. Another nice fish. Ooh, we want to keep him out of that. Another nice 12, maybe 13-inch trout. Nice, nice fish. Beautiful. Nice rainbow. Try to get him without getting hooked. Beautiful fish. Oh, he's ready. Whew. 2. Nice rainbow in the same hole. Nymph rig. Tight lining. Let's go. Alright guys, so I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I certainly had a good time filming it and catching fish. I hope y'all can take something that I've tried to show y'all today with the double nymph rig or the dry dropper rig, and maybe y'all can take and see how easy it is to swap back and forth. The idea of the video was basically just to show what I do. It might not be exactly what the books, you know, tell you to do, you know, the professionals might not tell you to do. It's, you know, everybody has their own certain way of fishing. This is just the styles that I like to use and some of the things that I do, and as you can see, you can definitely catch fish this way. One thing I will say is that if you notice, it is a little harder to cast because I'm using straight 6-pound test. It's not got a taper, so the energy transfer is just not going to be there like some leaders are that are tapered, or if you build your own leaders, you always go from a larger pound test, which because it's thicker, so as you go down it gets thinner and thinner, and so it's able to roll over that cast a little bit easier. But you know, I've done this for many years now, so I've kind of been used to that transition, and it's kind of more of a lob than a cast. But in creeks like this, as long as you can present your fly where you need it, and you're able to effectively fish that run, then the fish don't care. As long as you're able to make that connection with the fish, you know, then that's all you got to do. That being said, if you're going to use these techniques on a bigger river, which is what I do a lot of times, use the same techniques everywhere. I do usually build a leader. It's usually a longer leader, and when I do, I usually start with a 12-pound to an 8-pound to whatever I use my tippet. So it's usually just about a 3-foot section 12-pound, and then about a 3.5 section 8, and then whatever I use for a tippet. Sometimes I use a tippet ring at the end of that leader, and it just depends. So it's totally up to you guys. The idea is though that if you can take your different rigs, your double nymph rig, and switch it easily to a dry dropper rig, it'll save time on the river, and therefore you can catch more fish and not waste time trying to rig up different leaders and stuff. So I hope y'all enjoyed, guys. Once again, if you have any comments, go ahead and drop them down below. Please let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future, and leave a like if you liked the video, and I'll see you next time. By the way, go check out Cassette Optics. I'm a new brand ambassador for them. I'll leave a link in the description below too. You can use my code RidgelineFlies and get a discount on some sweet shades. So go check it out. Peace.